I have a very strong view that we need to take a tough and robust approach around the world to an appalling war crime that's taken place in Syria. But I'm also a Democrat who believes in consulting and listening to Parliament. And I think I've set out those steps in a very deliberate and careful way. But we have to listen to Parliament. Parliament spoke. And Parliament, I think, made a very clear view, which it doesn't want British involvement in military action. So we will proceed on that basis. But I think that's right, to have a strong view, to put a strong principled case, and then to listen to Parliament. I'm determined as a Prime Minister to do things in a different way to the way they've been done in the past, to make sure Parliament is properly consulted and to listen to the result. I think it's important we have a robust response to the use of chemical weapons. And there are a series of things that we will continue to do. We'll continue to take a case to the United Nations. We'll continue to work in all the organisations we're members of, whether the EU or NATO or the G8 or the G20, to condemn what's happened in Syria. It's important we uphold the international taboo on the use of chemical weapons. But one thing that was proposed, the potential, but only after another vote, involvement of British military in any action, that won't be happening. Now, that won't be happening because the British Parliament, reflecting, I think, the great scepticism of the British people about any involvement in the Middle East because of all the difficulties, and I understand that, that part of it won't be going ahead.
Have you spoken to President Obama yet? Have you apologised to him?
I haven't spoken to him since the debate and the vote, but I'd expect to speak to him over the next day or so. I don't think it's a question of having to apologise. I think it's a question of saying to a fellow Democrat, a fellow person. Well, but I think that's the point. Look, I was faced with three things I wanted to do right and do in the right way. First of all, to condemn absolutely and respond properly to an appalling war crime that took place in Syria. Secondly, to work with our strongest and most important ally, the United States, who'd made a request for British help. And thirdly, to act as a Democrat, to act in a different way to previous Prime Ministers and properly consult Parliament. Now, I wanted to do all of those three things. That, obviously, politics is difficult. It wouldn't, of course, that involved going to Parliament, making an argument in a strong and principled way, but then listening to Parliament. I think the American public, the American people, and President Obama will understand that.